Hey guys, welcome back to my review of American Horror Story Delicate, Episode 2. This is my review. Now, sorry guys, I couldn't upload things at the right time. I was trying to do something different where to react to the actual episode, but YouTube was not allowing me to do that. It had a copyright on it, so I had to take that down. So I had to go back to regular format. So I'm very apologize for that. So I gave myself some time to watch over episode 2 over again. There's so many details that I found from this season alone. It was pretty insane to say nevertheless. This episode was very concrete into what is exactly going on in this season. Um, like I said, this episode opened the floodgates of what possibility connection to future season might be. So the episode opens right back to where we left off in episode 1, where somebody intruded Anna's house, and that she was still complaining that who invaded her house, and she literally asked for you know she called the police. The husband called the police, and they looking at the civilians to see who basically invaded inside the house. And the creepy thing started happening where they started asking her questions, saying that do you think that it was due to the fact that you're pregnant and all, and you're trying to conceive a child, and are you hallucinating, have you took any of your pills, and all those questions are rising. And I think those are very honest questions from the lawyer, but the way that they were playing it off, they kind of felt like ingenuous, like they felt very, it was like a smirk remark instead of actually caring about the whole thing. And one of them actually asked a question like, you sure it wasn't that or your pills? Like when we found you, we saw some pills, and like it's probably because you drank some of those things and you didn't have time to do none of those things. And Anna was like, I kind of know what I saw. She started getting frustrated with how they were asking her certain questions. And the husband started saying like, you gotta just take it easy. Like I said, I'm still getting familiar with the names, but I already know Siobhan, I already know Anna. There's so many other characters that I think things are playing so it was very interesting. And I think this is the first part of part 2 of my whole video. So this is part 1 of episode 2. There also will be a part 2 to episode 2. So the episode, I split them into two parts of this video, but this few segment before we got into opening credits was a lot to take in. After Anna started seeing all this happening, she started basically looking at the bigger picture, trying to figure out, is she the one that's hallucinating, or is it the cops? And then, at the end of the first segment, they just was like, all right, we just wanted to make sure, she's not acting up again. So it's kind of saying that this wasn't the first time this has happened. I think there was more to it, but the way Anna was like thinking about this, she had that word. And like I said, I cannot stress this enough. I think I love this season so far. We already got the first two episode in, and like I said, I love this episode so much. And I think this episode is probably one of the more creepier segment of American Horror Story that we ever had, because there's so much going on. So Anna started going back into the city, and and the cool thing is this location is located in New York City. And the cool thing is she started walking, in the street, and trying to, I guess, going to her appointment. And as she looked around, she started realizing there's so many things happening at the same time. She started seeing that there's like one person, I think either she thought she was hallucinating, this lady with like the big red boots with big glasses, played by Clara Delevingne. She's like waving at Anna. And the creepy thing is, she said, and that was the first lady from the first episode watching her as she like move around the city. And that's when she started thinking about, somebody's been stalking her. And she had a baby. I guess from her lens, the baby was dressed up just like the lady that was waving at her. So she started panicking and started just having a whoa moment, like, what is going on? And as she got inside the building, she started looking at her skin, and something triggered her. And I think what triggered her, she just felt like, I just don't want to, deal with this at this moment. And she saw like this like little weird pimple, and she felt like, I need to like start getting the, how certain people like anything in their body like that doesn't belong there at first give them such discomfort. And I think that's where she got to the point where she's like, she's not trying to, deal with things like that at the moment. So she even started looking at her eyes, if it's her eyes or anything. I think, like I said, this episode was very strong to show that Anna is, she's very, she knows a lot of things that's going on around her. That's why she doesn't really panic as much, but she was also freaking out at every little few, glimpses of minutes. This is something that she's not used to, and she's trying to get used to that. You know, another cool thing, she started looking at the clock, and there's a lot of elements of horror of not being very sure of herself. And she's looking at the camera, and then by the elevator she has, there's like a surveillance camera looking down on her. And right before she's trying to like you know figure like what is going on, why is this all in her face like that, automatically she got a knock on the door, or somebody said, yeah, you may come in, like when you have an appointment and everything. And then we got the character that I think a lot of other people were very stunned about, which Kim Kardashian plays, is Siobhan. We got mostly introduced to her, and she started talking about all the things that she wanted to say to Anna, saying that you're gonna get an EGOT or an Oscar or even an Emmy for your to be an actress. You want it all. You want a child. She started playing down on everything, the wants and needs of Anna. And she started saying like, do you think that my company that is helping you are not trying their best? You said everybody had to break their backs for and make sacrifices for you. So don't make me look like a fool. She's the type of person like, we've done everything for you to be successful, but do not make a fool out of me. Right? That's the feeling she basically told Anna, like, nothing is easy in this world, and if you want to have it all, sacrifices have to be made. And Anna was like, yeah, you're right, maybe it's me, I was kind of hallucinating and not feeling myself. She said, next time, like, you need to fix your face, or else you could leave. Like, she said, like, we're not here to like tell people what to do, what not to do, because at the end of the day, she's running a damn freaking company. That's literally what Siobhan said. Like, she said, fix your face, or else. And she said other people that wants to see you win don't want to see your face look like that. So she said, okay. And the last thing she said, she was like, we're gonna take a picture in a weird way. And from the moment she took a picture with the team that she has for Anna, and then she posted on Instagram. Now this is where the episodes start getting very, very interesting and very, very disturbing. If you look at every screenshot of the while she was looking at her Instagram, she started looking at the like the posts of the team and everything, right? And then you started seeing like people commenting, and then there was like you know somebody was saying like, way to go, Anna, like good job, like they congratulating her of like the team photo of like, everything, like celebration and all. But here comes the element of horror, right? If you look, she start looking closely and closely at her phone, and it's like it's the same person that was waving at her, or the lady that she saw before that looks like a nun. Somebody is warning her not to do certain things. And I think um the scary things start coming in when she starts scrolling more and more down. Somebody said, yeah, squad goals and everything, way to go, Anna. If the dumb snakes wins the dumb award, I'm legitimately kill herself. And like people are saying some negative or positive comments as she keeps scrolling down. This is where things gets more crazy. Somebody it says preachers speaks, and somebody was like, watch out, Anna. Somebody is warning her through everything that she has, social media, even in real time. Somebody is either protecting her, or they know something that she doesn't know about this company. And that's the same lady that she's been seeing throughout the whole process of walking around the city, and she's hallucinating or thinking about that person. And each time she gets to a point, she's trying to look around to see, where is that person hiding? How am I seeing this person time to time? That person took a picture of her, and if you look in the background, the Riverside fertility clinic is where she's been going to get, like, I guess, the immunity boost to actually have a child. Now, when she saw that, she's got creeped out, because it seems like now somebody's not only stalking her, they know where she go day to day basis, which is even a scary thing within itself, to have someone stalking you at that type of level. Especially she's a celebrity, right? She's trying to get a child. She's trying to start a family. At the same time, she don't want a bad press about her with everything that's been going on with her. And then when she texted the preacher speaks, right? She started seeing like the emails, um, the writings on the wall. Like I said, this episode was so good, because it gave me the same, like I mentioned before, it gave me the same feeling of Apocalypse, where when Timothy was being warned by other people, and they even showed her location of where she was. She was in Kings County in New York City, right? And it shows like that person's been locating or following every move of her. And she may think that's a bad thing, and I think, to me right now, based on everything that has happened so far in the first half of episode 2, is they even saw that the preacher, they find her name. She said that this is a 3-day Queen's Mary, and then that's another thing. It's a 3 days Queen's Mary, unveiling a terrifying legend of Queen's Mary the First reign. And that's where it got so creepy for me, because this text will play into future episode. um she said, like, when you're reading something, she said, what type of thing is this? Who would send something like that? So when she clicked on it, right, she started finding some more disturbing shit, and I think that's what creeped me out in this episode. Like when she put this thing, it said Queen Mary, and unveiling the terrifying legend of Queen Mary the First reign. Something will tie back into this episode and future episode. I will tell you guys this right now. Either the witches are connected to this season and they're slowly creeping in, or something more scarier is looming. And this is what it says: underneath the secret of the truth behind the sinister truth behind the clinic rituals. So even here is showing that there's a lot of craziness going on. And definitely, if you didn't screenshot and see what exactly going on, whoever this person was, they know something that Anna doesn't know. And that they're telling her, listen, you think that you may know this clinic. You think that everything's going well. And things are not gonna go well. Because look at this imagery. Look at what this clinic is serving to make all these miracles happen. It's this episode, I just gotta say, this was one of the best episodes of American Horror Story in a long time. And she looked at it, it looks like a fraternal that's creating thing, and on top of that, it was giving double feature feelings too, because it says new breed of superhuman breed on the black market. So there's a lot of weird advertisement on her page only, which is even more scary. And if we knew from season 10 double feature, we knew that the government gave permission to the aliens to experiment on people in order for them to become a full perfect species, which I still haven't forgot, because I'm gonna tie this back in for the first half of season 12. Then they said that the secret cannibal of witches that runs the Tellis town. So it's a group of them. It's not just one, but from what this means, she has to watch her back because there's sinister things at play. So when she turned around, she finished looking at it, and I'm like, I've been saying this. The husband is very, very sketchy. He's very, very sketchy, and the scary thing about him as a character is everything that Anna does or do, he's not surprised. It's like someone that's monitoring her with a remote. It's like, okay, she progressed. It's like a scientist. She's progressing in this stage. She's not acting right. She's not working with these type of pills anymore. Those type of characters where it's like they're monitoring your level of progression. That's exactly what he's been doing throughout the whole thing. Like, she stabbed them by, like, her reaction, and then he didn't get like a whole scar, but just a little dibble of like, of a pike in the cheek. But the scary thing about his character is like nothing is surprise to him. And I think, I understand, as a guy, like, you're not supposed to be scared of every single thing, but the way he's acting, it feels like he's part of this whole operation, and the curtain will start revealing itself in the next episode. But until then, we have part 2 of episode 2 to review, which, like I said, I broke the episode down into 2 parts to review it, because this first half was so much detail. Like I mentioned, after Anna stabbed him and he like stopped reacting, he said like, yo, you all right? Like, you do need any help, like any additional things? And Anna was like, I'm sorry, like, I need to like find a way to like get away from everything. And I think, Anna was trying to find a way to like make the best choice for her not to like overreact. And then he was like, let's cool down, let's take a break, let's find a way to go to like somewhere to like relax or anything. And Anna was like, maybe you're right, maybe that's the right thing that I need, because I've been very stressed lately myself, if you think about it. And she had like the knives. I think she was cooking something, but it's a lot. It's a lot. This episode, like I said, I think the element of horror for me started happening even further on in the episode as well. After Anna, finished like cooking, like trying to get something, trying to get herself together. She looked at the I guess the little meter to double check if she was like pregnant, like the card. And she started smiling, looking at the results. I think it was the results. And she started working on the fertility thing, and the husband started assuring her that everything is fine. You probably just been overstressed because you felt like somebody was stalking you. I understand that. In a weird way, for her not to like worry too much. He's trying to ease the pain and like nothing didn't happen. But like I said, I also want to mention that I'm loving the dark tone of this season. This season has so many different elements of horror and connections. And I'm going to mention something at the end of episode 3 once I review it, and you guys are going to find it very shocking. And that goes back to something that I said on season 10. Season 10 opened a floodgate of possibilities as well as season 8, and I will explain why in further episodes. So as she start looking at things, and the way he's looking at her, even that too, the way he's looking at her, it's not like a regular like husband and wife like look. It's like this stare and also this like regret. It's like, you're still gonna have my child, but I have nothing to do with you type of stuff. That's the weird feeling that I got. Like I mentioned, I can overstep, but after she got the card um to get the results if she's pregnant or not, because I think they kind of flash forward like her clinical sessions of like her like going back and forth to like check to see if like she's like pregnant or anything. She's been doing all those testing, and to see where she's at, and then the thing comes up as a plus. Now, from what I know, my sister was telling me like when it's a plus, basically means that the person is pregnant, and now, and now, you start seeing that you know the person, she starts saying like finally I could finally you know be happy. She looks very excited, and she started saying like, "Hey, let's go celebrate." And she was so much cheer, and she finally got what she wanted, and she start in a way. It's like she starts saying like, maybe what Shaban was saying was not bad after all. Maybe that everything happens for a reason. She started really celebrating and saying, this is the right thing that should have happened, and she hugged him, and that part of the episode started continuing. you know so she's happy that they're gonna get a child, but I feel, in my opinion and my gut, he's not happy of having a kid for the wrong reasons. And the reason why I say that is, yeah, he's happy, but it's not in a genuine feeling, because even in the novel, from what they were mentioning, that it's like he's backing off in a way, but at the same time he still gotta play that um image that he cares and everything, but not as much. He has to still show that he can still do what he has to do, but at the same time, like, we're not trying to be friends and all that stuff. And that's a very scary type of thing to think about, because imagine you trying to spend time with that person, you have kids with that person, but that person always had like that thing in the back of their minds, like, yeah, we could talk, but not in a way where it's like we're gonna be together. You know, they were celebrating, and it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling, but at the same time, I don't really trust the husband like that at all. So at the end of the episode, you start seeing that they hugging, they're embracing, they're definitely trying to get life together, especially if they want to start a family. She's very excited about that, because I think that's something that she always wanted. Because she never had that opportunity, because she was still trying to conceive a child, but she couldn't, right? But as we get further on into the episode, which we will definitely talk about episode 3, but we'll talk about the part 2 of the episode. But as this happens, she's celebrating. She got back to the office. Anna got back to the office. She took a picture with Shaban, and out of excitement, she said, that's the perfect thing. She celebrated, and then she took a picture with the team again, which was even more, Shaban was showing, like, team photo. This is like her success team, right? She wanted to show how happy she is, how successful. But if you think about how Shaban is dressed, and how this is another thing too. Sometimes they hide the witchiness in plain sight. I believe, and that's just not even me, but a lot of people believe. I think Shaban is a witch, and I think that she's hiding it behind the company, and we are even got that. And then if you think about it, they got into the room, right, and Shaban was giving her a dress to wear at the, I guess, the Gotham Award, right? And as they're celebrating and dancing, and the moment they started dancing and looked at the mirror cracked, and something said, "Do not trust, don't do it, Anna." And the mirror crack, and the way that the mirror crack, it cracks right in her face. So this is something that could foreshadow that something's gonna happen to Anna. And the interesting part is that there's a lot of weird elements that is going on with Anna, especially. And I think that over time, um this is gonna open more floodgates of what's gonna be happening. We already see some dark images even from the opening credit. Sometimes the opening credits tells a lot of what's gonna happen. And from what we know, this season is kind of tying back to like a second coming of the apocalypse in a weird way. So we're gonna start cutting off this part right here. And like I said, guys, this is part 1 of episode 2. We will continue it with episode 2, part 2, for our next half. But guys, this first few episode was probably the most insane breakdown that I ever did, because there were so many things that were packed into one episode that I had to sit back and dissect it, because Shaban is doing something where it's like, I think this is not the first time she's done this for other people. So this is just continuing the generational practice that they've been doing. Because as we know, they said that Queen Mary, from what, so in a weird way, we're gonna have to look at the timeline to see where would that fit in when it comes to the Queen Mary's reign. How long was that, and the present day, which means that how old is Shaban? Is she one of those ancient Salem witches? Remember in season 3, they did mention that they do have the most ancient blood when it comes to the Salem witches, especially the ones that are more closer to like the first few generations ones, right? Because we know Scaffage is the first supreme, right? And there's other covens certain places. So guys, make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video for part 2 of episode 2. Thank you guys so much, and bye bye.